Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of our Darwin adventure. If you didn't see part 1, I'm going to drop a link in for you right here. And if I don't have the technology for that, you're going to find that same link in the description of this video. Anyway, go get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up, come and enjoy Darwin with us. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for 2 all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, good morning everyone. In fact, it's almost afternoon. We're out for another day here in Darwin. We've just gone to the can recycler in Humpty Doo to get rid of our cans. What we do is, as we travel, just fill up a bag full of plastic bottles and cans, and when we find a recycler we get rid of it. What do we haul in, Al?
$11 odd.
$11.30. We'll throw that into the kicker. That'll go towards something. I think since we started recycling cans, and we're not, you know, crazy about this, just the cans that we use.
Yes.
I think over the last 3 or 4 years, we've probably put away about $2 grand. It's been a lot of money, hasn't it?
It is. It just slowly mounts up. We just put it in our savings account.
Yeah, it's a little bit of money for, you know, campsites and stuff while you're travelling. It comes in handy. Gives you that bit of change in your pocket, washing machines and those sorts of things.
Always helpful.
Anyway, aside from can recycling, today we're going to head out to the Howard Springs area. We're going to check out the day use area over there, or the nature park. Apparently that's quite good down there. It's got a little bit of history in behind it, so I'll explain that to you when we get down there. And then where we're staying in Howard Springs at Shady's campsite, the guy who runs it down there, John, he tipped us off on a beach that we can go take the car down to, and we can check out the old prison farm. There's some ruins down there, so we're going to go out and have a look at all those things. And then yeah, I really don't know what we're going to do after that. Oh, we're going to work at Woolworths tonight.
All right, so probably do a little bit of work.
Yeah, we're going to throw a few bucks back into the bank. All right, well, come with us for the day. We hope you enjoy it. At the Howard Springs Nature Park, there's a fantastic play area here for the kids. Just a lot of climbing and jumping, and there's flying foxes, there's all sorts of stuff. There's plenty of shade. Everything's got that either sand on the ground like you can see here in this climbing area, or it's got the play safe stuff over there on the little mound. And then you've got all this climbing and things like that. It'd be fantastic for the kids to come down here and run wild. And the beauty of this is it's all free, but there are a couple of rules. You can't bring any domestic pets down here, so no animals whatsoever allowed to come down. But it's a great place to come down, sit, relax. There's barbecues, there's picnic tables, and it's open from 7:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, and after that they close the gates. Whoa, you're a bit heavy for it, bud.
Oh, careful.
Just had to stop at the end.
Was that fun?
Yeah. The WWII's been here since World War II. It was built by soldiers during that time, and it was built as a reliable water source for Darwin whilst they were waiting for the dam to be built, but here it is here. You used to be able to swim here about 15 years ago, but they closed it all down and stopped all that, and I think it's because of all the algae and stuff here. Where we're staying, John told us that this used to be all overgrown by trees, and he said it was a beautiful place to come down and swim, but it is full of fish and turtles, so if you want to bring the kids down you can feed them. The only thing you can't do is you can't feed them bread, but I don't know if the GoPro will pick it up. There's a little turtle swimming by down there right now, and it's full of fish. There's barramundi, tarp and all sorts of stuff. Here's a few more turtles just down here. Yeah, it's a really beautiful place to come and spend the day, isn't it?
It is very lovely.
Yeah, so there's a couple of wading pools. Because you can't swim here anymore, they put in some wading pools. There's one on each side, so there's a small bridge you can see there goes across the weir, and then on the far side over there there's a small like toddler's pool, and then on this side over here there's another series of pools that has a small waterfall on it. I'll cut in some pictures of both just to give you a bit of a look around, but it's all free as we said before. A great place to come and spend a hot sunny afternoon.
It is lovely.
Look at them. I think all the turtles, they're just starting to really gather around the bottom of us now. They must be able to, obviously, so they can see you, and they just associate us with food, I'd say, because at the moment I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and there's more coming from every other direction. So this is the bridge that links both sides of the weir together, and we're not the only ones who use the bridge. Check this out. Looks like everyone uses the bridge, doesn't it?
Oh, he's bigger than that one, I think.
He's
Which way
cool.
are you going, mate? He's going this way.
As you cross the bridge, there's plenty of information about the different marine creatures that live in here, from turtles to barramundi, tarpon. You can stop and have a bit of a read, and maybe you might be able to spot one. So plenty of toilets and other facilities down here. There's also some sort of canteen. I'm not sure if that opens all the time, only during events. And this is one of the toddlers pools that you'll find down here at the Nature Reserve. What do you think of the Howard Springs Nature Park, Al?
I really like it, actually. It's yet again another wonderful use of public area for the people, and yeah, well done to the Territorians for making it happen.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people down here. We did watch a video on YouTube not that long ago, and some other people, I think it was, might have been Wild Touring come here, and they also said there wasn't a lot of people here. And when we asked John where we're staying, why a lot of people don't come down here, he said, oh, that's just the territory, mate. We'll tell you what, it's a beautiful facility. It's well worth coming down, spending, you know, at least an afternoon, or maybe come down for lunch, throw the kids into the water for a little while, maybe spot a fish, catch a turtle.
Catch a turtle.
These trees around the nature park are supposed to be, or particularly down by the weir, are supposed to be inhabited by file snakes, which are quite harmless to us, but they hunt on the fish and things, and they ask you not to walk into the bush because they're very timid animals and they don't want them scared off. So the other thing you can do when you come down here to Howard Creek is to do the Howard Creek walk. There's the track there, and that meanders around the creek and crosses and loops back to the other side of the park. It's 1.8 kilometres in distance. I don't know if we'll do all of it today, but we might walk down, you know, a few hundred metres and just check it out. The walk along the trail is quite pleasant. We've seen a number of people out for a bit of a jog or a ride on a push bike, or a family group come and walk through here. So yeah, it's quite a pleasant little walk. You can hear all the birds and the sound of the creek as it rolls by here. It's very, very nice. One of the things that I've noticed since I've been in the Territory, Al, is all their public areas, all their public space areas, all very well done, aren't they? There's lots of shade and green grass, and
yes, because it's very hot, so it's good to see people making use of the cooler areas.
Yeah.
To stay cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where we've been so far, they're always well utilised. There's people just sitting around, relaxing, sharing, you know, I suppose a bit of time with each other and their families. It's quite a community, isn't it? That's what it feels like. Yeah.
It's a good community.
There's no one stuck on bloody gaming machines or iPods, is there?
No.
No. Everyone's out and about. It's fantastic. Well, we're just heading out to the old prison farm at Gunpoint Beach. We're just following series navigation at the moment on the Google Maps, and we're down a dirt track, but that's no surprise because I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. But let's get Ellie to flick the camera out, because that's what I'm worried about. So look here, Ellie. It's telling me I'm turning left in 1.6 k's, but it's about to turn me right. So we'll keep following along so we can find it. But there's an old prison farm up here. It closed down about 40 years ago, I'm pretty sure I read, and it was built as an overflow to the Fanny Bay jail that we showed you a couple of days ago. So it should be interesting to come and have a look at. Apparently there's an old fella who lives out here. We'll try not to disturb him, and we'll shoot some video if we can, and if we can't we won't. But then we're going to go for a drive down along Gunpoint Beach, and apparently there's quite a few car wrecks and stuff down here where people have just sat on the sand and left their cars idling, and apparently you can get stuck pretty quick doing that, but it's all right if you're just driving. So there's also camping down there too. So anyway, we'll get down and check all that out and see how we go. But show on the road, Al. A few tyre tracks up here, so obviously people come up here, but it's always worth the adventure. All right, let's get up and find the jar. So we found some ruins up here. We're not quite sure what we found
In
here
200
yet, but
metres, turn left.
thanks, sir. We'll keep wandering up. There's obviously some ruins of an old building here. Christ knows what that is. Looks like it's got electrical boxes and stuff like that, so I think that's got nothing to do with what we're about to look at.
Just be careful. The big stick.
Turn left.
Alright, so we're just coming in on it now. It's very hard to see. There's a lot of long grass here. I don't know if we'll get out. There's a bit of a concern about snakes, I think, here. But a lot of graffiti. So obviously people are getting out here. Apparently you can climb that tower. I'm not going to give that a crack. And then you just hear some of the old buildings here. So yeah, it's just a ruin. There's no roof or anything on it. There's 1,000 tracks running around it here. I've no idea where they go. So we'll just come back in the way that we went in. We'll come down here. There's a bit more.
Your destination is on the left.
A little bit more life, for want of a better term, down here, but interesting nonetheless. Oh, you go, there's a bloke living there, so we won't go in and disturb him.
No.
Alright, so just let me go. So it's just obviously someone living here. We're not going to go in and disturb them. We'll just make our way back out. And yeah, it was worth the drive to come out and have a look at it. Have a look at it. So here's some of the old ruins here. We have no idea of what we're looking at, but yeah, this is where the old prison farm was. And as I said, it shut down about 40 odd years ago. It's not a bad track out here, but in the wet, God, she'd be tough going. You'd be cleaning red dirt mud off your car for 3 years, I reckon. Look, I'm not 1,000% sure what we found here, but just coming out of the prison farm, and you can see here there's some old tubular sheds. I reckon they're air raid shelters from the war, because they've got seats and stuff inside of them. I'm not 1,000% sure, but you can see there's definitely some ventilation on the top. I could be like really wrong with this, but it has that feeling. And I think just looking over the back one, there might be someone living over there, so we're not going too much further and disturb anybody. But yeah, I have no idea what it is, but it's very interesting. The ruins of the old prison farm were quite interesting to have a look at, weren't they?
They were? Yes.
As we said, we didn't get out of the car because the grass is taller than I am.
Yes.
And just worried about snakes. And also there's people living out there, so we don't want to annoy them too much. But it looks like an absolute bomb's hit it. So I can only suggest that over successive cyclones, obviously a bit more and more is damaged out there.
Yes.
But those concrete tunnels that we saw, or concrete tubes that we saw with the chairs inside, they are very interesting to have a look at, and quite old. If you know what they are, I think they're air raid shelters. I could be completely wrong, but if you know what they are, hit us up in the comment section, let us know, because I'd be really interested to find out what they were. But we're going to go from here back down now. We're going to jump onto the beach and have a look around, and maybe we'll spot a crocodile. Right, we're just heading down onto Gunpoint Beach. It's a dirt track coming in. It's a little bit of corrugation. You might want to hear the vibration through the car at the moment. Nothing spectacular. We haven't let the tyres down. We understand the beach is really hard down here in the driving zone, but not to go too far down to the edge. We'll spin the camera around in a second when we can see it, but apparently there's about 500 metres of beach out here to get out of the water zone. That's only what we heard. That could be an exaggeration. But yeah, you can camp down here. I can already see campsites. So let's have a look out. So here we go, just down onto Gunpoint Beach here. There's some rules here about camping when you come out, and the day use area itself. There's a couple of setups out here.
The fire coming straight at us.
Oh, check that out. Very nice. What do you think, Al?
Very nice indeed.
There's a whole stack of people up here. I can see vans and stuff all the way other than the beach.
Oh, yes.
And that looks like a little bit of I don't know what the boys are. I'm not going to say swimming zone. All right, let's go for a bit. We'll go for a bit of run along the beach and see how we go.
I think there's an area that you can't go beyond.
Ah, yes, that's what it is. That's right. So you'll see the boys, well, the boys we just showed you on the beach. That's the area you can't go beyond. But there's plenty of sand down here. I haven't let the tyres down. It's really firm. It's quite nice. So we come on at the southern entrance. But there is a northern access road to bring you down. You can camp both ends. We're heading towards the north now. There's a lot more people camped here now. This is a free camp, so you can come and stay here, set yourself up on the beach. You've got this beautiful outlook and sunset every single day of the week. Well, when it's not cloudy. It's a great spot, isn't it?
It is very nice.
Yeah, that's Gunpoint Beach. We thought it'd be interesting for you to have a look at. I don't think we ever knew it existed, and we do watch a lot of YouTube and stuff to see where other people go. So maybe if you come up to Darwin and you're looking for somewhere different to stay that's free, this could be just the spot for you, and it's very easy to get on and off. All right. Let's go. Every time we leave where we're staying and we head into town, we always see these signs to 16 Mile Camp. It's a World War II history thing out here. I thought, bugger it, we'll take the turn, we'll go down and find out. Curiosity got the better of me. So here we are. Let's go for a bit of a walk through the park and see what it's all about. So as you walk along the track, you come to different points. It gives you a little bit of information about it. If you just have a look straight up there through the bush, I can actually see that there's a bit of a steel cutout of someone in there, and you can see that the rocks have been built up, and these were parts of the defences that they had here. They were told after the bombing of Darwin Harbour that the people that were here were ordered to defend this to the end because they expected a ground invasion was imminent, but as we all know, it never happened.
And the reason why it didn't happen was the Japanese guy that led the bombings had told his superiors that Darwin was like obliterated. There was nothing left, so there was no need for the land invasion. So that probably helped. Then they had a north and south defensive line here in this area, so it's quite interesting. Things I never learnt at school.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank Christ he was wrong.
Thank goodness. Yes.
The position here at Camp 16 or 16 Mile Camp was strategically important because of its position on the hill. It allowed them to employ their weapons all the way down through the hills, and the access that the proposed assault might have happened, or invasion might have happened from Japan, which would have given some pretty good fields of fire. It also protects all the airfields that run in here behind us, because there must be 20 or 30 of them as you go back down the Stewart Highway. We just come up to the top of the feature where the defenders dug in, for want of a better term. Well, actually that is the term. And you can see some of the old pits here. So you can see here they were very hastily made, but they dug in, they used the rocks or the natural bush or objects that they had around them to not only camouflage themselves, but to at the same time give them some protection. You can see they've got a little silhouette cut out of a bloke over there with a Lewis gun. But yeah, and this is the advantage of the high ground, because they come down across the slopes. They've been very hard to see right until the enemy come up upon them, so they definitely had the advantage. There's a stack of little side tracks that you can take if you want to follow the northern and southern defensive position around. They're just marked with red and blue arrows, and you can see here's an example of one of the trails here. And then throughout there's just the silhouettes of soldiers at work. Something that was very interesting about this site was just the conditions that the men lived in while they were out here, because they were under constant threat of attack of the Japanese, and at the time Japanese were bombing anything that moved. If they want to do simple things like shower, they just look off into the horizon, and if they could see what might be rain coming, they'd soap up and they'd wait for the rain squall to come through. They'd run out and just quickly rinse themselves off, and they'd go back in. But yeah, very, very harsh conditions, but very, very important that they were here. So if you come into Darwin and you're looking for something a little bit different to do, and you just want to go for a bit of a walk through some pretty nice bush, to tell you the truth, come down and do the 16 Mile Camp. It's well worth a look, and see if you can spot a couple of silhouettes in the bush. Well, there you go. That was just a short walk through the 16 Mile Camp. It does pay to be curious. It was very interesting to come down here, and such a strategically important place during the war. I just said to Alison a second ago, the boredom of the soldiers would have been incredible. It's just, I wonder what they've done to keep their morale up and those sorts of things. I know that they felt that they were under pressure to be attacked by the Japanese at any point, but they were sat here day after week after month after probably years, just waiting for that to happen, and as we know, it never ever eventuated, which is a good thing. But yes, it would have been very, very hard life up here on the hill for sure.
Yes.
So we come back to the car. The walk around the 16-mile camp probably takes you about 20 minutes or so. We're going to head into the Royal Flying Doctor Service and check it out. We just arrived at Stokes Hill Wharf, and we're going to go in and check out the Royal Flying Doctor Service exhibition. So we're in the cinema at the Royal Flying Doctor Service exhibition here, and World War II exhibition on the bombing of Darwin. I've got to say, what we've seen so far has been fantastic.
Very, yes, it's been really good.
We're watching some
being part of it.
You do, yeah. We're watching some hologram movies, but we just done the VR experience of the bombing of Darwin. It was fantastic. You just sit in a swivel chair, rotate 360 degrees, look up, look down. Yeah, it's great picture right there, doesn't it?
It is. I think I could do it a couple of times because I'm sure I missed a lot of things in the first experience. It's quite good.
Cost for this was $30 for Alison, $25 for me because I got a concession.
Yes.
Oh, can you?
The document identifies Sergeant Pilot Liang, POW J910.5, 9th of April, 1942. My true identity is Hajime.
This is a life-size representation of one of the Japanese heroes that attacked the harbour. It's huge. When you come to the Royal Flying Doctor Service side of the exhibition, they have an actual plane in here, which is one of their older ones, but you come and you can sit in it, you can check out the cockpit. You're probably sitting there too. I think I'm a little bit too big to get in there. There's Ellie on the way up the steps. They've got a couple of patient beds in here, and that's it. It's really good to come and check out.
So one of the experiences is the virtual experience, and this is the one in the Royal Flying Doctors.
This was really interesting. The radio aid chart, so where does it hurt, you just say the number or the letter, was invented by an Australian sister, Lucy Garlick. She worked out of the Wyndham base in Western Australia, but it's still used today. How cool is that? There's plenty of information here at the display about the Reverend John Flynn. If you don't know who he is, check the back of your $20 note. So we made our way into the World War II tunnels. You have to pay for this. This was $8.50 each, but we thought you're only in Darwin once, we might as well check it out. There's not much room for filming, is there? Just got to squeeze your way down. But you get some apps that you can download, gives you the full tour. We'll do that when we get down the end. So these are the tunnels, and they were built to store the oil because they saw it as obviously a vital source. They needed the fuel during the tour, so the Japanese couldn't bomb it. This is one of the oil storage tanks that they made. They're horseshoe shaped, and that's because of the way they've done their form work, but they used commercial oils and stuff. This was used right up until 1955 when it actually imploded and it was decommissioned. But yeah, I think Golden Fleece up here, the old Australian petrol station, they were the ones who distributed, I think it was kerosene, all that sort of stuff, right up until 55. Very interesting. Alison's loving the tunnel. Well, I'm sorry, the noise in the tunnels was absolutely horrendous, so I'm just going to narrate this part of it. There's two tunnels that you can go and have a look at. The one that I showed you, which had imploded, and this one is Tunnel 5. As you walk through the old tunnel, you have to keep in mind that at one point these were full of crude oil, I think, for the boats. But there's plenty of information about the tunnels and how they were constructed. It also gives you a brief history on Darwin and the timeline of the actual area that you're standing in.
It's very, very interesting, but the one thing you don't want to see in any tunnel that you go into is a leak in the wall, just like this one.
So we're right at the end of Tunnel 5, and you have just to excuse the noise and the vision because of where we are, but you can see there it leads straight out to the ocean. So obviously this tunnel pumped out to the ships that were out there on the wharf. Okay, so we just left the tunnels and we walked directly across the street, and if you wander down to just follow the palm trees down, you won't miss it. Walk your way down to the end, you'll find the swimming area down here, which is free. There's also a paid swimming area down here, so take your pick, whatever you want to do. We'll wander down, we'll have a look at the free one and give you a bit of a look around. So this is the free swimming area if you come into Darwin City. There's plenty of room down here, lots of trees, plenty of shade and plenty of area to get out there and have a bit of a swim. This is the Darwin Waterfront. This is the paid swimming area when you come down to the front down here. Costs you $8 an adult or $6 a child. You can do a family for $34. Under 3 is free, Alison tells me. And if you want a yearly membership just for yourself, it'll cost you $50. So we're just walking down towards Stokes Hill Wharf. This is the wharf that was bombed during the war. I'm fairly certain that Stokes Hill Wharf is one of the places you can come to do some like water sports, activities, dray trips, ferry out to Tiwi Islands, all of those sorts of things. But yeah, it's still a good place, historical place to come and check out. All right, Al, what's your thoughts on Darwin's Waterfront Precinct?
It's quite nice actually. It's another good use of public space, making it really, I think, public friendly. So it's definitely somewhere you might like to pop down.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a place you can come, sit, relax. There's plenty of bars, restaurants, cafes. There's all the stuff down at the waterfront to do. You can walk across to the wharf, along the seawall. Absolutely beautiful down here. Very reminiscent of Cairns for me. What do you think about that, Al? Do you think it's like Cairns?
From what I can remember, yes. But yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, well, that's the end of this week's adventure. We really hope you enjoyed Darwin as much as we did. What was your favourite part, Al?
I think it's the fact that I can come back and still see a lot more stuff that I haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah, we can only stay 7 days because a lot of you know we're on a very pressed timetable at the moment, but 7 days is definitely not enough time to come and see Darwin. There's so many things to see and do here, isn't there?
Yes, there is. I can understand why everyone comes up in the May, June, July period. It's a very nice place to be.
It certainly is. Anyway, if you liked today's episode, please hit the like button. If you've got any questions about our adventures in Darwin, hit us up in the comment section. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so because it really allows our channel to grow. Come and join us next week when we explore the beautiful Litchfield National Park. I can't wait for that one.
I am looking forward to Litchfield.
Yeah, it was pretty special, that episode. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a great week. We'll see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye.